Hello everyone, welcome to Intellipaat's live webinar on how to become a business analyst with no experience. Today's webinar will be conducted by Mr. Pawan, who is an experienced business analyst and certified Scrum product owner with demonstrated experience in building content solution. He has more than 8 years of experience in business analysis field. So guys, let's welcome Mr. Pawan into the session. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. So, hello everyone again. So, I hope you already have a little bit of an idea of this domain of business analysis and what does a business analyst do. And when I say an idea, it doesn't mean experience, it just means general working knowledge. So, today in this session, what we are going to see is what it takes for a person to be a business analyst without having any professional experience. So everyone starts as a fresher when it comes to business analysts. You might be a programmer, uh, you might be a fresher from college, or you might be working in a production oriented field. Anybody and everybody can transition into a business analyst role without having prior experience. In fact, fun fact, I did not start my career as a business analyst. So I have more than 10 plus years of professional experience. And in the first 2 years, I was not doing business analysis. I was more of a process trainer. I was working with production operations primarily. And then I transitioned into the business analyst role. So today, what we are going to take a look at is what are those key skills or basic knowledge areas that you can cultivate for you to be a business analyst without having a prior professional experience. Okay, so without much ado, let's begin. So let's go through the agenda quickly. So we have a brief introduction to business analysis. What is business analysis basically? We will visit a few concepts of business analysis. We will take a look at prerequisites for becoming a business analysis expert, and that would basically summarize how you can actually become a business analyst with no experience. We will take a look at few tools that are needed or are used by business analysts, and how efficiently one can use these tools and make a transition into the business analyst role. Okay, so let's begin the session. Now, it says, what is business intelligence and Power BI? Now, we have been talking about business analysis, right? Now, what is business intelligence and what is Power BI? So this is basically a tool that is very much used by people in the business analysis domain. That is Power BI. And business intelligence is nothing but playing with data. So you have a lot of data. Today revolves the world today revolves around data, right? So the first thing that we do is we gather the data, we analyze the data, and based on this past data, we try to predict the best possible working solutions for our today's problems, as well as problems that might arise in the future. So this activity is basically business analytics. So it's basically the skills, technologies, practices, again, in continuous iterative exploration. So it has to be continuous process. It cannot be done one time and stopped, of past business performance to gain insight and drive business planning. So as I mentioned before, first step is to analyze the past data, go through the past data, gather insights based on that past data, and then plan your business problems accordingly. So business planning is nothing but coming up with long-term, short-term plans, solutions to your most crucial business problems. So that's basically the high-level definition of business analytics. Okay, so how to choose your first BA tool? Now, as I mentioned, BAs they use a lot of tools in their day-to-day work. So if you are a person who has no prior experience and you're just moving into this BA domain, what would be the best tool to start with? Well, there are many tools. There are many tools you can pick and choose and work. But what we will be looking at is the core areas which will tell you which would basically direct you to the best tool. As I said, there's so many tools available. Counting the tools won't make any sense in this short webinar. So what we will see is the criteria that you need to follow to choose this tool. So the first criteria is availability and usage. Now, as I said, there are so many tools, most of them are licensed tools. So which tool is most easily available to you? That becomes the most important point. And the usage. So for example, I'll give you a brief example. For example, when as a user, so as a business analyst, I create UML diagrams. So I work on UML diagrams. I create these wireframes and UML diagrams. Now, there is a tool called Microsoft Visio, which is a licensed tool provided by Microsoft, and it is considered one of the best tools when it comes to drawing UML diagrams. However, when I'm using or when I'm creating UMLs in a personal capacity, I probably will have to go and take a license of Microsoft Visio. So I would rather prefer use an open source tool in that scenario. However, if I'm working in an office environment where my organization is providing me with a licensed version of Microsoft Visio, I would go and prefer using the Microsoft Visio. So for the base criteria that we need to focus is availability, which tool is readily available to you, and its usage, how frequently. So you should not buy a license for a tool which you are going to probably use once or twice, right? So you have to be really careful about availability and usage. Next point, easy to learn and use. Now remember, as I mentioned, there are so many tools out there, so many tools that can utilize in your day-to-day work. But you have to be careful about selecting certain tools, because the tools should have an easy to use and easy to learn way of presentation. And most of these tools that are available, they do come up with wizards and technical guides which are easy to learn. So that becomes your second parameter, easy to learn and use. Now the third point is the most important point. See, end of the day, a BA is working with data, whether a BA is working with data or inputs of a business. The core idea is to analyze these insights and then put that in a way that it is visualized in a way that it is easy to understand. So the quality of data visualization, so if you are working with data, hard data, the most important thing that becomes one of your primary criteria is how best can you visualize this data. What is the quality of your data visualization? So if you can visualize it in a way that the one look at it and people understand it, then you have done your job as a BA. So which tools provide you best data visualization? That's your next criteria. And finally, cost and ease of setup. As I mentioned, sometimes it's part of availability, but if you are, let's say you are in the planning committee, or if you are doing budgets for your organization, you have to evaluate the costs and ease of setup as well. Certain applications might need to be installed on every desktop or laptop that the employees have, whereas certain applications can be used by deploying it on the cloud. So you have to look at the ease of setup. You will also have to see the costs. Whichever suits you best, you go ahead and pick that as a tool for your choice. So today we will take a closer look at Power BI. So it's one of the tools that is used for data visualization, and it's a business intelligence tool. It converts data from various data. So you can actually plug in various data sources to it, and you can basically create interactive dashboards and reports. So it's called BI reports, business intelligence reports. You can create all of these dashboards and reports and present it to your clients. So it has a range of attractive visualizations. It has customizable dashboards. So someone wants a few additional columns with certain specific data types, that can be done. All the dashboards are 100% customizable. Then you have data sets filtration. You have filtration options. You can filter your data sets according to your choice. I don't want to see a certain set of data, I can filter them out. So the Power BI application provides you that. And it has a very easy navigation panel, so you can easily navigate from one section to another. And Power BI is an application provided by Microsoft. So if you have access to Microsoft Office suite, you can actually access Power BI as well. So let's take a quick look of, because we are focusing on one tool today in this webinar, and that's Power BI. So let's take a quick look at the various developer trends that are there in the market, in the industry when it comes to Power BI. So why should you be a Power BI developer? Now, Power BI is, it's one of the leading business intelligence tools, and it's, by Microsoft, and it is, used extensively across various organizations across the world. So if you look at this chart that we have, so this is a research conducted by Gartner. So Gartner is this organization which conducts various market research activities. And if you look at this particular chart, you will see it has four quadrants: challengers, leaders, visionaries, and niche players. And the magic quadrant for analytics and business intelligence platforms falls somewhere here and here. So these are the visionary companies. They use business intelligence to take the industry to the next level. So you have SaaS, you have SAP. These are technologies suits which, they drive a lot of software development across the world. Then you have something such as IBM, Alibaba, information builder. So they are niche players. They target niche industries, and they focus on, they use the same business intelligence. They use business intelligence data, but they do it for a different purpose. They have a very niche focus area. And you have certain leaders like Microsoft, Tableau, like they are the industry leaders basically when it comes to power business intelligence development. So as I said, Microsoft is the developer for Power BI, so they are the leaders in this field. And Google is actually coming up. So MicroStrategy, Domo, and of course Google, they are actually catching up. So they are not there yet, but when it comes to, Power BI applications and Power BI driven, or calling it Power BI would be wrong, but business intelligence applications, because Power BI is a brand of, it's a brand that belongs to Microsoft. So but Google is also fast catching up, and they are the leaders who are, or they're the challengers who are, growing in the market. Now, what are the major skills of a Power BI developer? So let's take a quick look at them as well. See, the most important skill that is required is documentation skill. So you should be able to create clear and concise documentation, writing business cases. So see, a Power BI developer or a business analyst, you might, don't get confused with the wordings. End of the day, both are data analytics. So a Power BI developer focuses more on visualizing the information, whereas a business analyst probably would also look at the solutioning and also focus on how the, data is to be gathered. So moving on, analysis skills. So you should also have sharp logical reasoning and analytical skills to be able to use this data. So as I said, the world is driven by data, right? So there's so much data all around. So having a critical and logical reasoning mindset actually always helps, where you can actually analyze this data, and then the better you analyze this data, the better you'll be able to visualize it. So critical logical reasoning and analytical skills are a big advantage. Then, as we discussed, business analysis tools, so technical expertise in using BA tools, apart from your basic Microsoft Office applications like PowerPoint and Excel, is very helpful. So remember, Excel and PowerPoint are not going anywhere. No matter which kind of visualization tool you use, you still have to make presentations. So PowerPoint and Excel are your best friends as a business analyst. So mastering Excel and PowerPoint along with certain other BA tools would become a big aid in your journey as a business analyst or a Power BI developer. Data visualization. Now, that's what we spoke about before as well. So end of the day, your core job is to gather data, put it in, analyze it, find insights, come up with solutions, and also make sure you visualize that data properly. Because a lot of business stakeholders, if you give them a huge Excel sheet with a lot of numbers, they probably will not have the time to go through all of it. So easy to read, easy to understand visualization of data, not just to uh, upper management, but a lot of non-technical members, because teams are cross-functional. There are not all team members would be technical, would be having technical skill sets. So easy visualization makes sure that the business insights are transferred equally to non-technical members and also upper management. Okay, so now we are coming to the next point, which is a crucial skill for you to have or develop as a business analyst, and that is elicitation skills. See, business analysts get, so as I mentioned, as a business analyst, the first thing you would do is, you'll try to gather information, you'll try to gather the data. How would you do that? That process is called elicitation. And business analysts are the people who always run meetings. So to give you an example, they are the guys who keep a meeting together. They are the facilitators of most meetings. They are the ones who drive, who make sure everyone who is needed in a meeting is involved. They make sure that whatever is discussed in the meeting is transferred to those who could not attend. So they are basically the elicitators, or they are the facilitators of meetings. And communication is a really important skill, which is really helpful if you can hold an audience, ask questions, run meetings, and get the project requirements from stakeholders. It's really a big challenge to actually elicit requirements, because a lot of people, business holders, or we call them stakeholders. So let's say there's a business, and they want to have a software developed, say for delivering books, and as an example, they will not always talk in the finer details. They will only talk on a very high level. So it would be the job of a business analyst to interact with them, to fine tune and gather the requirements in a very specific way. So you'll have to drill down to the basics to get all the requirements, and all of that works if you have good elicitation skills. Now, as a Power BI developer or a business analyst, so these are basically some of your core responsibilities. You have to create reports. Power BI reports are basically generated, which actually help in tracking your projects. You are responsible for building analysis services, reporting various models. So a lot of data models are built, and you can actually build a lot of services which analyze these data models. You can actually work in creating KPI scorecards, visual reports, dashboards, etc. You can actually connect various data sources. You can be focused on the data sourcing side as well, importing the data, transforming the data from one form to another, so that you can work with that. You can work on that area as well. And having analytical thinking, you can actually do a lot of translating of these data into informative reports and visuals. So most of it is now visualization. And then you can also be a part of low level security for this data that is being used, because data security is one of the core drivers of any industry that is working with data. So data security is really important. So you can actually, as a BI developer, as a data business analyst, you can actually focus on the low level security of data, along with your understanding of various security layer models in Power BI. Now, how much does this get you? What is the salary average? Now, again, these are all average salaries. You can actually go into various sites that are available. You can actually find it for yourself as well. So in the United States, it's around $122,000. In India, it's around 12 lakh per annum, and it's around 55,000 pounds in the United Kingdom. So this is again an average salary. If you have better skills, if you have better certifications, you can actually earn even more than this. How to get started? And let's take a quick look at that. So this is basically a journey. So you need to first build up your elicitation skills. You need to have that ability to ask questions. So if I come to you and say, I want this, you should have a list of questions already ready in your mind, so that you get a very deep understanding of whatever your requirements are, or whatever project you are building. So asking deep questions that give you a full understanding of the system, making sure that you are facilitating the sessions, you're making sure that every member is able to put in their thoughts, given their inputs, is really important. And that's the starting point. Once you have that, you have to also focus on improving your collaboration skills. See, end of the day, a business analyst does not work with tools. Yes, we discuss some tools and techniques, but the basis of the main work of a business analyst is to interact with people. You need to interact with your business stakeholders. You need to interact with your end users. You need to interact with any other stakeholders, development teams, quality analysts, analysis teams. So collaboration becomes a very key skill as well. Now you need to have a very good understanding of team roles, because if you don't understand who is responsible for what in a particular team, you might not be able to collaborate or elicit your requirements as you really want them. So you need to have a good understanding of the team roles that you are targeting at that point. You have to make sure that you manage your information as good as perfectly as possible. A lot of times you are working with multiple teams across the board, a lot, and these days across the world. So there would be diverse teams, a lot of spread out teams, and managing the information transfer between these teams becomes crucial. And as a business analyst, you would be the primary accountable person to ensure that the right information gets to the right team, right person at the right time. So you are also responsible for information management. Now, once you have all these skills taken care of, next thing is governance skills. Now, you might ask, a business analyst doesn't manage people, right? Does a business analyst have large teams? No, you have separate managers for it. Then why do you need a governance skills? Well, business analysts are also leaders. Business analysts are not people managers or people leaders. They are thought leaders. They are process leaders. They are knowledge leaders. So you need to govern, you need to have good governance skills, so let's say I am a business, I have a requirement, and you are a business analyst who is working with me to build a software application. Now, I might come to you and say, I want all of this in one go. So you need to be diplomatic. You need to be tactful. You need to plan ahead. You need to govern the requirements in such a way that the most important ones are taken at first. Because at any given day, if someone wants everything to be built in a single day, it's not possible, right? So good governance skills helps you maintain that balance. Then, of course, as we discussed at the start of the session, we need BA tools and techniques. They play a very important role, but they are only tools and techniques. They help you in getting your job done. They are aids that make your job much easier. And finally, documentation and communication. Of course, presentation. So whatever you have done, learned, looked at, everything needs to be documented, and your communication and presentation of that documentation should be transparent, should be available to everybody. And lo, you are a business analyst. Now, there are a few certifications available. So you can actually take this certification. It's not a free certification, though. You can actually go onto the Microsoft website. Microsoft offers a lot of certifications. So Exam DA 100, that's the certification name. So just you can Google it, searching Exam DA 100, and you'll get that certification page. So it's a proctored exam. Microsoft conducts it. With these days, they conduct it. You can give the exam from home as well, if you follow certain terms and conditions. And it's a paid certification exam. So if those of you who are interested in getting this certification, I would suggest go to the Microsoft website and take a look at this certification. So that's all, folks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. Let's open this session to a little bit of a Q&A. Anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. You can type it in the Q&A section, or you can even type it in the chat section. No questions? Okay. So it seems no one has any questions. No. Okay. Does any integration tools are to be learned? Okay. When you say integration tools, are you referring? Can you give an example? What tools are you referring about? I mean, what kind of integration tools are you talking about? So if you are referring to software application integration tools, then not exactly. That is not needed. However, having an idea of visualizing, because there are some software integration tools which provide visualization dashboards. So having a knowledge of that would be helpful, but not so much. I mean, yeah. Okay, sure. So yeah, not so much in terms of application integration tools. What type of a graduate is eligible for a BI job? Okay, so I would say that you need to have some understanding of mathematics, basic mathematics. So if you have done graduation in any field, and if you have mathematics as a primary course, mathematics, probability, statistics, you would be more than well equipped to be joining into the BA role. So yeah, so basic sciences, any basic sciences with mathematics, probability, statistics, so on and so forth. I think commerce students can also apply because they also have these statistics based subjects, right? Other than Microsoft DA certificate, is there any other certificate that can work for job? Yes, there are tons and tons of certifications, but you will have to choose which certification would be best suited for you. Microsoft certification carries its weight. So if you have that, it's very valuable. But there are so many other certifications you can actually go for as well. Okay, okay, guys, I think that is it. So I will now, and I think that ends the session. Hope you have learned something about business analysis and business intelligence. It was a pleasure speaking to you all. And now I'll hand over this session to the course coordinator. BE fresher, yes, a lot of scope. Okay, one more question and then we'll end it. So you have a lot of scope in this domain. In fact, as a BE fresher, you are completely well equipped. All you have to do is do the right certifications. I would say understand the stuff, understand how Power BI works, understand how a BA operates. And if you have those skill sets, if you focus on developing those skill sets, I mean, as I mentioned, even I'm not a BE, by the way. I myself did my graduation in BSc physics. So as long as you understand those numbers, as long as you understand the data part of it, you're good to go. And there's a lot of scope. So as a BE fresher, go for it is what my advice would be. Okay, guys, thank you. I think we are running out of time. Salary, we just discussed. Okay, Lokesh, you have too many questions. I would suggest, send in your questions and maybe the course advisor can pass it off to me. I think we are running off time. That's the only reason, but there is, I mean, salary is available. I mean, as we just saw an example, right? At least average is 12 lakh per annum in India. So don't worry about salary. Focus on the task and salary would come. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks a lot for being a patient participant here. So I'll hand it over to the course advisor. So can you please take it from here?
Hello, everyone. I hope you had a good time in the webinar. This is Rudrani this side. I'm the senior course advisor at Intellipaat, and I will be helping you get knowledge about the course that Intellipaat provides for Power BI. So basically, this is a Microsoft Power BI certification training course, which is being provided in partnership with Microsoft. We are the official learning partners of Microsoft for this particular program. So 3 things are going to be coming out of that. Firstly, the entire course curriculum is designed and developed in partnership with Microsoft to keep it at par with the international standards of what you need to know in Power BI. Secondly, you will be trained by Microsoft certified professionals as well, who would be delivering the content to you on a real-time live basis. Thirdly, you will be getting 2 certificates. One is going to be a certificate from Intellipaat and one is going to be a certificate from Microsoft. This certificate is valid for a duration of lifetime. It is valid through all top organizations in India and abroad, and this is going to be recognized as a professional certificate throughout. So before I move on to telling you all about the curriculum, I would first like to highlight on the key takeaways that you are going to have as a part of this program. All right. So basically, this is entirely going to be instructor-led training, meaning that the entire delivery of the concepts will be made in such a manner that you would be able to basically grasp it very, very easily. And you are going to take the classes as live sessions from the instructors. Okay. Along with that, self-paced videos are going to be given to you in terms of recorded material that has been recorded in a controlled environment by the same instructors. So if in case you are someone who wants to revise a little bit before they sit for the live classes, you would be able to do so through these self-paced videos. Okay. Now, a very, very good practical exposure is given to you throughout the program through project work and exercises that you take up throughout the course. Now, these are all industry specific real-time projects that you would be taking up, all of which are going to make sure of two things. Firstly, that whatever knowledge we are delivering, you can put it into a practical implementation. And secondly, because now you would be someone who is looking to transition into Power BI or business intelligence as a domain, or you are looking out for a job in this domain, or maybe you are wanting to even have an organizational shift, the first priority that recruiters will give is to how much exposure do you hold in this particular tool, which is what we are also going to suffice for, because all of these projects are industry specific real-time projects, all of which will be considered as an industry experience for you when it comes to Power BI on your portfolio. The certification, as I said, you would be getting one from Intellipaat and one from Microsoft. Both of these certificates are valid for a duration of lifetime. They are valid through all top organizations in India and abroad, and they are going to be recognized as professional certificates throughout. So this is the snapshot of the certification that you are going to get from Microsoft. All right, perfect. So now coming to the other services, we do give you a job assistance that will completely help you have easy transitions or organizational shifts, or a change in domain. So basically what we do in job assistance is a 4-step process. The first step is, as soon as you reach 70% completion of the course, we will be assigning you with a professional team who expertise in portfolio building. Now, this team would entirely be working on your CV, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and all the other official profiles that you have, as to make it very, very noticeable to the recruiters and the professional community. Make it look heavy on Power BI, and at the same time have all the right keywords and points of lines and statements to pass the applicant tracking software that most MNCs have. And also make sure that it is at par with the industry standards of what the industry requires your resume to be when you're applying for Power BI developer roles. The second step is that we will start preparing you for all the interviews that are to come. So these are going, this is going to be preparation in terms of a mock interview, set of questions, salary negotiation skills, soft skills training, and all of that. Then we will be starting with the recruitment drive, which is the third step. Regarding the recruitments, we have partnerships and collaborations with around 500 plus reputed multinational companies and tech giants all around the world and throughout India. And as a part of that, we will be actively giving you placements, all of which are inclusively created for Intellipaat students. So you do not have to go ahead and compete with the entire crowd out there. So if I give you a generic example, these would be companies like, some are already listed here. Some are Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, Cisco, Nasdaq, Sony, Ericsson, Dell, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Johnson & Johnson, McKinsey, Shell. So we also maintain the quality of placements from our end. Apart from that, we will be giving you a guaranteed of minimum 3 interviews with top multinational companies that hire for Power BI architects. We will also be giving you an exclusive access to our job portal. It's called www.jobs.intellipaat.com. Here, throughout a duration of lifetime, you will be able to see all the vacancies as and when they come with our partner companies. And even you can apply from your end by showing Intellipaat certification as a verification, post which direct interviews are scheduled for you. And lastly, for all the interviews that you sit for, we would be end-to-end. Again, specific to each company, would be training you, mentoring you for all of that. Okay. So all of this is in the job assistance. All the live sessions that you have with the instructors are going to be recorded and put in your learning management system, the access to which you will have for a duration of lifetime, along with the access to the project work and exercises that you have worked on, and the self-paced videos as well. All of these come with a lifetime free upgrade. So anytime in the future there are any upgradations or changes in the versions of this tool, we would be entirely upgrading your content from our end without charging you anything extra for the same. We also provide you with another service, which is a 24/7 technical support for a duration of lifetime. So anytime that you have doubts or you're stuck in any particular part of the course, you can directly connect with this team any time of the day or the night that you want, because they are available 24/7 around the clock. And this particular facility extends for a duration of lifetime. So even post the completion of the course, you would be able to go ahead and ask them any questions that you have, and it will always be a one-on-one doubt resolution session with them. Okay. So this is the entire curriculum that we are going to follow as a part of this program. The entire curriculum is laid out in such a manner that we will be taking you from the very basics to the advanced level concepts of this domain. So there is absolutely no prerequisite in terms of anything that we need to know in advance before you take this program, as everything is covered from scratch to the advanced level concepts. Okay. So you can come with zero knowledge absolutely, because we would be training you from scratch. So we first have introduction to Power BI. And then we have data extraction, wherein, if I tell you about introduction to Power BI, it is going to cover all the basic architecture of Power BI, and we will be helping you out with the installation on your system and all of that. All of these modules are backed up with a lot of hands-on exercises to make sure that whatever knowledge we are delivering right away, you can put it into a real-time scenario. Then how are you going to extract data from different data sources? So that is going to come in Excel sheets, PDF, CSV formats, OData, Web, SharePoint, R, Python. So all of this basically is covered in module 2. Data transformation, data modeling and DAX queries, data visualization with analytics, Power BI Service Cloud, Q&A and data insights, Power BI settings, administration and direct connectivity, embedded Power BI with API and Power BI Mobile, Power BI Advanced and Power BI Premium. As I was saying regarding the projects, so when I come to the projects, basically what we are going to do is that we are going to give you different projects from every domain that is out there, not particularly limited only to the IT domain. We are going to give you from IT, retail, logistics, supply chain, marketing, okay, finance, banking, and it would be from different data sources as well. So by the end of this course, you will be a master of the tool, and any kind of data that has been given to you, you can successfully analyze, visualize, and report on the same. Apart from that, we will be making sure that, a lot of case studies are directly coming from Microsoft. So that also is going to give you an in-depth knowledge of the tool. All right. So this is all about the program. This peer learning is an application basically that you get as a part of this course, wherein you will be added along with all of your classmates and the instructors into one group along with the Intellipaat team. So that is for you to have a collaborative learning and a classroom-like experience, because a lot of group projects will be given here. All the major announcements, referrals will be shared here. And all the recruitment drives, regarding all the recruitment drives, it will be all shared here. So if you can see, these are some of the snapshots of the chats that our students have had in the past. The entire curriculum is going to be in line with the DA100 exam, which Microsoft independently conducts. So if you're planning to give the DA100 exam, you would be able to go ahead and clear it very, very easily by taking this training. All right. So now coming to how is the fee structure. Basically, there are two batches that we have. The first batch is a Saturday and Sunday batch, wherein the classes are conducted on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the evening. So this is going to take you 1 month to complete the program. Then we have a Tuesday to Friday batch, wherein the classes are conducted on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. This is going to take you 3 weeks to complete the exam. You can attend as many batches as you want for a duration of lifetime without having to pay anything extra for the same. Now, the course fee for this course is 17,043. There is 18% of GST on top of that, which makes the course fee to 20,110. So if in case you are looking to enroll for this program, you can directly connect with me. Today, we are running big discounts because it's Valentine's Day. So if in case you, after going through the webinar and knowing about the course, if you are interested to go ahead and enroll, I'm going to put down my contact details. I have a coupon code on me, through which I will be helping you get good discounts over this course fee, and you would have chances to get discounts in the range of 40 to 50% on the course fee. So I'm going to share my contact details in a minute, and now we will be open to questions. So these are going to be my contact details. I'm Rudrani. My email ID is rudrani@intellipaat.com. So you can directly reach me out here, or you can WhatsApp me at 80471-85988. All right. Today, again, we are running big discounts on all of our courses. So if in case you are interested in going ahead and making your career in Power BI, you can directly reach out to me after this webinar, and I will be helping you with your enrollments, because I personally look after all the enrollments for Power BI. So any doubts? Okay, so Abu, very good question. Do we cover Azure and SQL? Yes, we do. We have another program as a part of our course. I am just going to share you a new screen. Okay, 1 second. So if you see here, you just type Power BI and it is going to show you different options. What I would want you to go to is Masters in Power BI for Azure Data Factory. So now additionally here, SQL and Azure is covered along with Power BI. The content for this module of Power BI is the same as the one we discussed right now. Additionally, SQL and Azure Data Factory is given. All right. I hope I answered your question. So if in case you are looking to, go ahead and also learn Azure and SQL along with this, then Masters in Power BI is something that would be great for you. Thank you. So we are going to wait another minute for anyone who has any questions. For anyone, again, who is looking to enroll, you can directly reach out to me because we are running big discounts on all of our courses. Also, post this webinar, the Intellipaat team is going to be sharing with you a feedback form attached with the webinar link. And basically, once the webinar ends, you will be redirected to this feedback form. Now, it would be really, really appreciated if you can go ahead and give a feedback to the webinar because that helps us improve. So it will only take you 2 minutes. Kindly go ahead and do give a a feedback for this webinar. If you like the webinar, please do go ahead and fill it out on the feedback form. So you are going to be redirected to this feedback form right away once the webinar ends. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you all have a great evening. Happy Valentine's Day and a good night to all of you.